and welcome back to my kitchen counter, which is acting as my desk this week for unboxings. Today is cloth and paper. These boxes tend to come in the same sort of 2 to 3 day period every month, as they all ship at around the same time of the month. So I can probably expect my other stationery box in the next couple of days. So we have cloth and paper. I've grabbed myself a knife and scissors to make this opening go a little bit more smoothly than my previous one, as all of the items in here will be wrapped in some form of plastic. So a lovely sticker on the front of the tissue paper today. Well, hello there, it says. And we peel apart the paper. We get a peek at all of the items inside, and I'm actually going to take everything out, set it on the counter and set the box to one side. So I subscribe to Penspiration and the cloth and paper subscription box. So I always get the pens as well. And here we have this month's, and it always comes in a little plastic sleeve with "There is luxury in simplicity." So here we have the pens. And again, very difficult to do a first impressions on many of these things, as they are not straightforward, not items I have seen before, not brands that I am familiar with. But let's take a look at this first pen, which is very intriguing. My goodness, the packaging is always so complicated. It is on a little plastic sleeve, and again it has that protective nib, which, as I've discovered, in Japanese and American pens tends to be red, where they're on European pens it tends to be clear. Very lightweight, regardless of the size. It's 0.5 millimeters. I see if I can remove that protective item, and we'll get the little card that sort of welcomed you to the pack here. So cloth and paper don't provide a sheet in the box. They actually require you to go to their blog to see the items, and as I say, that makes a first impressions video extremely difficult. So let's see what we've got here. Oh, that is lovely. So it's black ink, lovely and thin, and an exceptionally good flow. Little big for my hands, but the square shape means it rather sits in the hand a little bit better. There's a certain grip that you can get with that. Loving the shape, the triangular shape. As you can see, there's a triangular top as well. So that's a very nice pen. And that, as I say, comes in the separate Penspiration box. Another very lightweight pen. And again, that protective red blob at the end. I always feel like I'm nearly pulling the nib off when I am removing the red blob, to the point where I could break the pen, especially in the ones that are, oh, that's lovely and thin. I love a really thin nib. What does it say on it? I probably won't be able to see it. 0.38. Yeah, lovely thin. I do like really thin. Unfortunately, in things like pencils, although I like a 0.3, it often breaks when I'm writing. I'm obviously too heavy-handed with them. So the third pen here, again, it's one of those things that the style is beautiful. Simple seems to be the brand name, or at least the style of the pen. And again, with that protective nib, which frankly I'm getting tired of pulling off in the course of this video, but let's do it again. Oh, that one came off much easier than the last two. And another black pen. I'm not unhappy. I prefer black to blue. I'm not sure what the refill is for, but if I had to guess, it might even be this final one. Again, oh, that little blob came off a lot easier. And here we have a blue pen. A lovely flow to that. And quite a lovely design as well. Excellent. So that's all the items from the Penspiration envelope, as it were. So I'll set those to one side and we'll have a look at the main cloth and paper box. As I've taken everything out, it's all a bit higgledy-piggledy and kind of in reverse order. This is a very interesting envelope. I don't know if you can appreciate it there. It's almost like wax paper. So let's see what's in here. And again, the items from Penspiration and cloth and paper are so unusual that it's very difficult to say what they are when you first get them out. But what was in that envelope was this, which is a see-through plastic envelope, which is nice. I do use things of this type. This one is held closed with a wrap string closure, and the string feels almost waxed. It is quite unusual. And it smells quite strongly. Not to say I won't use it, but mostly I use items of this sort, the snap fastener ones, in various sizes. But that's unusual, but also almost reminds me of those see-through plastic raincoats or old umbrellas that were completely see-through. It's certainly a very heavy plastic, and that's what that reminds me of. Okay. On to the next thing. This was actually at the top of the box, and I spotted this when I opened it, sort of in my pre-opening for the unboxing, and I was very excited by it. Now, I probably won't be able to figure out how to use it immediately for the video, but it is a scissors, a student scissors, and I love me a scissors. So it's orange and white, and obviously according to the picture, it does come apart in some way, shape or form. And am I going to just struggle with this and then end up stabbing myself? Probably. Oh, silly me. It does actually give you instructions. You pull it apart. And there we go. We pull it apart. This little thing there that keeps it. Oh my goodness, that is magical. I do love a scissors. So that is very, very sweet. Quite innovative, and for some reason it says happy on it. I'm not really sure about it, but I do love that. Fashion mini series student scissors is how it's described on its packaging. So let's see what we have here. Transparent adhesive notes, and again in that plastic packaging, which I will attempt to open, but always lovely with that cloth and paper sticker on it. Oh goodness. So this is what the notes look like. So the card here is just to illustrate what they look like, and you get them as a small pad. I like these a lot. I adore anything post-it note type, anything for page markers, always very lovely. And I can see here now that there are two packages. That one was numbered package 1, 2, I beg your pardon, this one is package 1, and they are a larger size of the same item. So love those. Here we have what would be an insert if you had a planner. As I say, cloth and paper is very much based around planners, of which I do not own any. And so when you do not, if you state that you have no planner, they send you the items unpunched so that you can utilize them yourself. I will probably end up saying this in every video. This one says reflections at the top. I really couldn't tell you why I started with this subscription. as I find planners with pre-printed sections to be extremely restrictive, and I prefer to do more of a bullet journal style where everything just goes into one notebook, flowing on section to section, no particular sections as such, but you know, a shopping list followed by a list of ideas, followed by a list of things to do, followed by some mad musings. So I actually genuinely prefer not to have dated material. I prefer to have just a notebook where I can flow from one thing to the other. So the next item is something called Notes and Ideas, and I'm just going to get it open. Because again, it's wrapped in plastic, and that plastic tends to reflect quite badly on the camera. Number 3, nice white. So very white theme this month. Lovely dots. So I can use that. And I can keep that for myself. Lovely. So up next is kind of one of their signature things, which is these little black stickers. And as you can see, these ones say things like important, meeting, to do, and email. So they're kind of cute. Again, not something I would probably get a huge amount of use out of, because I tend to just write lists and more endless lists. These are very sweet. You can see these. It's a mix of tiny little paper clips in gold and then some large paper clips in black. So they're very sweet. Now this final item is very intriguing. Let's have a look, see what we have here. It just says note. Let me open it. Lovely. Reasonably small sized, certainly about half A5, I don't know what that size is. And it says note, and at the top you can circle Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Nice to see that starting with a Monday. So many US based items start with a Sunday, which drives me crazy because starting the week on a Sunday makes absolutely no sense since you tend not to work on a Sunday. And it's just a little printed notepad, and they have various, so lots of sheets in there. So that's everything from the cloth and paper stationery box. Again, very happy with that. As I say, it's my own fault, as it were, for signing up to a stationery box that absolutely states it's mostly around planners, but the aesthetic is so lovely and everything else is so beautiful that, you know, I can utilize some of the planner material, and they are very good about substituting items. So if you don't have a planner, they'll occasionally substitute in 2 notebooks or something like that. So they do think about the people who don't have planners. But all in all, another lovely box from Cloth and Paper, and a lovely collection in their Penspiration collection. So I shall see you next time. Thank you. Bye.